free application for student aid. On this form, you have to fill out your parent or guardian's combined income, parent assets, personal savings, parents' previous year tax forms. This is also a great website to use when learning about financial aid. It has a ton of resources, breaks it down for you real simple, so if any of you guys do have questions or are confused by anything about the process, it's an awesome tool to use right there, and I'll give you guys a list of the websites that I cite for my PowerPoint. Scholarships, there's thousands of scholarships. A lot of the time there's non-academic scholarships too, so there's for example, there's a Big Y scholarship offered in Western Mass where kids who are either work at Big Y or have parents who work at Big Y or relatives can apply for a scholarship. It's always great to get letters of recommendation, and if you have community involvement like you guys working at the, you can come into the Holy Boys and Girls Club all the time, it's awesome. And leadership positions that you've previously held, whether it's a sports team or a club or something like that, is also a great thing to add to that when applying for scholarships. And another website that I'll give you guys afterwards is collegeprowler.com, and it shows you all the different scholarships that are offered in Massachusetts. Another great resource for finding colleges that might interest you or majors that might interest you. Early acceptance is another thing I know the Keystone Club wanted to learn about a little bit. Typically colleges hold deadlines of October 15th and November 1st for early admission application. Increases your chances of acceptance. I know my personal experience with it. I applied to UMass Amherst early. It was just relieving for me to find out early that I was going to be accepted. And it also doesn't pressure the college to accept students during regular admission when everyone's applying, so it gives you a better chance. Like I said, it's just a great way to commit. Work study, typically also need a FAFSA form for this as well with different schools. For example, at UMass, you can earn between $1,500 and $1,800 a semester, either through an off-campus or on-campus job. Some of the cool work study jobs at UMass, you can be a tour guide, you can work in the department office, you can be an attendant at the gym where basically you just walk around, hang out, say what's up to your friends, just make sure everyone's being safe and the equipment's clean. You're also going to be a help desk attendant or another kind of attendant on campus where you can also do homework and get paid at the same exact time, so that's, who doesn't like that? That's an awesome thing. Budgeting, this is just something personally that I know I've had trouble with, and my friends and most people in college do, is really just learning how to stretch out your expenses and saving money. Major expenses usually include eating out, weekend fun expenses, special events like concerts. If you live off campus, there's a whole nother slew of expenses that you may have, like rent, utilities, gas for your car, groceries. I know last year, junior year, I started keeping a little notebook where I would write down every time I would spend money, even if it was $1, $2. And at the end of the week, I'd be able to look at what I spent money on, and I could decide whether or not I should be spending money in certain areas or if I should use those finances for other areas. It just helps out a ton. Like, you realize when you're trying to be financially independent, it can be really difficult. But if you have that source of where you use your money, and not like at the end of the week, like, oh, where all my money go. So that helps out a lot. Just a little tip. Time management is also huge. I would say it's one of the #1 skills you need for college or any higher education after high school. It's good to just keep a calendar of important events coming up. Plan out the week ahead. I know on Sundays I'll just hang out and watch football and kind of just like look at what's coming up the next week, and really set a time to go to the library, which is very, very important. Depending on where you go to school, regardless, I would actually say the library is like an awesome place to do work. It's just like always a place you can go without any kind of distractions at all. Also set aside fun time too. You gotta have that. And if you're not meeting the deadlines, you can ask yourself why and how can I change it. Flexibility of educational opportunities. So basically this is just like, I would say with mostly any college you go to, whether it be a 4-year or 2-year school, there's so many majors that are offered. When you do select a major, it's not set in stone. I know my father changed his career path and his major like 3 or 4 different times. I personally changed mine like twice. It's really important that you find what's your best fit. That's why I did BDIC at UMass, where you get to basically build your own major. More and more colleges are starting to have these kind of programs and departments where you create your own curriculum and your focus and decide what you want to do with it. That's how I came upon social entrepreneurship. It's always important to maintain your GPA throughout this time at college too, because if you're trying to transfer throughout departments or majors, you're going to need a minimum requirement GPA. Another thing that's important, step out of your comfort zone. So college is a great time to do this. There's tons of different clubs and opportunities on and off campus for you to meet new people and try new things. For example, at UMass, they have over 200 student-run clubs like the Ski and Board Club, the University Programming Council, where you actually get to meet musical artists. One of my friends got to meet Wiz Khalifa when they brought him to the school because they got to organize the concert and talk with his agents and figure out the deal that they wanted to do to bring him to the school. So it's just like awesome experiences like that, and you also can participate in things like club sports as well. Use the resources around you. So clearly you guys are already doing a great job of that by coming to the club and using everything that they offer. Specifically at college, they have things like tutoring programs, office hours for professors, review sessions for tests, study groups, teaching assistants who are people within the classes, aside from the professor that can help you out, career services help you get internships and also career placement, and there's a ton of different professors who have a lot of expertise in specialized areas that you can always approach wherever you go, whatever college you go to, that can help you out and kind of help you decide what you want to do with your future. Self-control. This is something that I would say you have to deal with your entire life, but it's increasingly important when you go to a college environment. You always hold the power of choice. Peer pressure can be very overwhelming, so simply a decision like not going out on a certain weekend night when you know you have a ton of work next week coming up. I mean, there's 52 weeks in the year. You're going to have plenty of time to go with your friends, and you have the time to do it. You just have to make that blatant to them and tell them, like, I know my friends, I really want to go out with you and have fun, but I have all this stuff to do. I'd say that's something that a lot of students do struggle with. I know I struggle with myself. Always remain calm and remind yourself why you came to college in the first place, or any type of higher education. It's a full-time job, basically, but most of all, just enjoy it, I would say. And that's it. You have any questions at all? I know I kind of ran through that a little quick. No questions? All right. Well, I got a really 2-minute activity. I just want you guys to pick one candy out of the bag. It's just one flavor. All people like these. I know they're my personal fave.
You want to take that one? I don't think
Alright, so I want everyone to just take a quick look at what color they selected. I had envisioned this activity being more interactive where everyone would get up. I don't really know if we have the space for it, but it's fine. I can just explain what I was going to do anyways. Basically, the different colors represent a different thing, a different friend of mine or a different experience I've had. So cherry would represent a friend of mine who had made a lot of mistakes in his life and wasn't really making it where he wanted to go. He tried to apply to a lot of colleges, but he didn't really follow through on it. Ended up working a part-time job, which is progress, and you can move up, you can become a manager and move within your certain company. But ultimately, I think education is the best way to further yourself in life and really broaden your horizons and open your experiences. So that kind of represents that. Green apple, so green, that's go. I would say that represents one of my friends that graduated last year who actually is working for the Boston Consulting Group right now in Boston. Has a great apartment, has a great job, did a great job in college, can help provide for his family, has a lot of financial freedom now. So I would say that's something that is very exemplary of what a good college experience can get you. Watermelon is pink. I have a lot of friends back home who went to 2-year schools, which is still an awesome opportunity, and they either got jobs offered to them after that or moved on to go to different colleges who had 4-year programs. So those are people who didn't take the big step to go to a 4-year school right away, but still are making progress nonetheless, which is very important. And blue raspberry is kind of like a miscellaneous color, but I would say blue raspberry for me and this activity that I planned out represents someone who, regardless of what situation you're in your life, where you are, what you're doing, if you're kind and generous to people and you respect people who respect you, you really just keep your head on straight, you're going to get where you want to go. So that's just really important to me, and I think it could be something that you guys hold on to as well.